Cantwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses. Mr. Forster, thank you for mentioning code.org and for your work in your home state. I've always said we need to be more aggressive about our coding education. Unfortunately, the federal role is so much more minimal than the state's role in this aspect, but I always refer to my own experience of having to take typing in Latin and that having a mandatory language requirement that today our mandatory language requirement should be 1 year of coding in our schools. And that would give everybody access to your point about the diversity of never being able to predict what student is going to be really good at coding. So it's something that everybody should be exposed to. So I invite you to come to Seattle and visit code.org or visit any of our other institutions on this subject because we're working very hard at it. Mr. Reed, I wanted to talk to you about the app economy since you represent the association and your comments about efficiency and constant mobile connectivity. I thought you hit it right on the head about this issue, which is exactly what the app economy needs and what the businesses who rely on the app economy need. So whether that's, I can't tell you the list of farming applications I have seen that are everything from managing livestock to predictability about weather to all sorts of things. It's a very science-based sector and needs that kind of connectivity. I see that you are for net neutrality or for an open internet and codifying that information so that we can have that. What does it mean if we don't have that kind of rule of the road for efficiency and connectivity of those devices? And you don't have to talk just about the farm economy, but but writ large, what are people looking for?
I think that's why I started the comment about the fact that it's worth remembering that we've connected 3.4 billion people with the world's collected information. And I think what you're getting to is that people seek knowledge about what they want to do, if it's farming, if it's anything else. I think to Senator Schatz's point about, well, it shouldn't all be fun and games. But what we see is continually people chafing and saying, I want to do more. I want to do something different. I want to reach a different group of people than I can in my hometown. So the door that's opened is amazing. It's knowledge, it's access, it's interactivity. And the thing that you point out is without the internet access, without certainty about the rules of the road, and more importantly, how do we get to those rural communities? Your state's fascinating. You've got one side that everybody's connected, and the other side still has blank spots in it. We've got to figure out how to make sure that the people on all parts of the state have that access to connectivity and that the rules of the road are well established and that there are codified rules for how we get there. So again, I think you're right on point, and figuring out how the Senate codifies that is an important next step.
Well, I think what, having just visited Spokane and seen how as Startup Incubator is saying, we use these apps every day to manage our business and to manage it on behalf of our customers. And if somebody starts artificially slowing that down today, then I'm going to be less efficient in delivering services. And so that, I think, is the concern for us. The fact that in Vancouver, Washington, a cable company is saying, well, I'll give you higher speed broadband today, but only if you take our expensive bundle. And so they'll give you less expensive higher speed, but only if you take our expensive bundle. So I think what consumers are worried about is that the app economy is going to get hijacked and that they're going to be so dependent as small businesses on these applications that if somehow they're artificially slowed down or throttled, that that's going to be a problem for them. So I guess I'm with our colleague from Hawaii. I'm very much in support of clarifying this now that that we're protected. But I think to your point, whether you're in Seattle, as you said, one of the most connected places in the country, or on the other side of the state, you still want the same thing. You want the efficiency that comes from all these applications. And if that is information in the cloud, you don't want to be slowed down from getting access to it, because otherwise you're not going to be running an efficient business. And isn't that what so many of the apps are based on?
Well, we are certainly based on greater efficiency, but as Senator Schatz said, we're not only about efficiency, we're about solving problems. But I take your points to heart, and it's something that our community obviously is very aware of and engaged on.
Thank you. Well, I hope our colleagues will take time to really deeply understand how much this access is about small businesses starting something new and being competitive, and that's why we need to have net neutrality. Thank you.